And welcome to the AEW Dynamite preview. We are the Dudley Boys of What Culture. I'm Adam Wilbourn, joined by Michael Hamflett and Michael Sidgwick, here to look ahead to tonight's episode of AEW Dynamite. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to What Culture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube. Where we do daily wrestling podcasts where we not only review AEW Dynamite, but also AEW Collision, Raw, SmackDown, the show formerly known as NXT 2.0. Pay-per-views, premium live events. We have interviews, roundtable discussions, and a round of the week complete with a bigger quiz, of course, on wrestle culture. As I said, though, joined by Hamflett and Sidgwick to look ahead to Dynamite tonight. And Sidge, how much are you looking forward to AEW Dynamite Grand Slam Mexico?
Very much. Very much Tony Khan live, if you didn't get what I was going for there.
I can't remember where he's been this week. He didn't mention it in the...
He's been in Khan.
Oh, that was it. Yeah, sorry.
He's been in Khan.
Whereabouts was he doing there?
He's in Khan with all the big wigs on a yacht.
A smaller yacht that he was on than he was on before, obviously.
Indeed. Look, I am very, very, very much looking forward to this show. In fact, well, it's certainly one of the most anticipated episodes of Dynamite. As soon as they announced it, I was like, this can't fail. But in my broken head, I'm excited, which always comes with the caveat of I would get worried something's going to go awry. My principal concern here, it's not unfounded either. I'm fairly certain it'll be fine. This means I'm excited.
Sold out so fast, didn't it?
Oh, I can't wait, man. I cannot wait. My principal concern is that you have what is on a weekly basis. It's not just the hottest atmosphere in wrestling, right? It's not simply the loudest atmosphere in all of pro wrestling in the world. It is, and this is so crucial to me, the most earnest. You might get the odd chant, but more so than, WWE doing the Europe tour or, a hot US-based AEW crowd, which are the loudest of the year across WWE and AEW anyway. More so than that, it's when a move happens, they actually react to the move earnestly. They gasp in anticipation of the next move. They don't just shut off, lock themselves into performative mode, and then just kind of ignore the beautiful rhythm of the action and then start a chant, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Like, I'm not such a miserable prick that fans chanting at a wrestling show and having a great time at a wrestling show and trying to be part of it. There's always levels and there's a good and bad version of everything. But like even Danielson Ospreay, legitimately one of the greatest wrestling matches I've ever seen, and at this point think I will ever see. We're not worthy as a chant. It's like there's still always something that just I'm removed from it. Arena Mexico, and I am no CMLL expert. I'm not even a regular watcher. I'm very much like the casual WWE fan who checks in for WrestleMania. Like the big, massive matches or occasions or spectacles, I will dip my toe in. And every time, it's similar to like the new... I love the world so much. I love how there's an earnestness to the crowd reaction, which is, of course, like deafening at times, that I'm just in love with. And I really hope follows tonight. I'm going to get to the worry momentarily. But I'm on another tangent. I need to press a button. I will watch from time to time, like early to mid-90s Fed. That's my current. If I want a bit of comfort wrestling when I'm just tired, whack that on. And like even like a punch gets a yes! Like the most basic of maneuvers with an over character will get a yes, and it's not like, it just feels like a different, more innocent time. It wasn't, but that's the rose-tinted view. And I want that. I want that desperately for tonight, and I'm going to get it, and I'm really excited. I just miss just that cause and effect of the wrestlers are doing something, the fans engage with what they're doing and don't try and put themselves over. My only worry is that it's potentially a match made in hell of, all right, it's really bittersweet marriage of Arena Mexico atmosphere versus AEW's not exactly immortal, incredible record of production. And I will say that if you take that out of the way, and I'm fairly certain they'll get it right, it's the sort of thing like they would deserve to be like trialed for promotional malpractice because very clearly, other than the CMLL relationship, which they want to explore and do more with, obviously, surely the entire reason you go to do a show and run a show in Arena Mexico is, well, we've got the loudest, most earnest, impassioned atmosphere in wrestling. Let's put our brand on that. Let's go and exploit that, you know? So I feel like that's going to be really heavily planned for. Away from my worries, I think they've nailed this card to perfection. As Meltzer's already pointed out, and I sort of had the same take, you can tell by the 12 and 10-man tags in particular, a lot of wrestlers just wanted to work this. They really did, hence why you've got those two matches in particular. And Tony's tried to accommodate a lot of the wrestlers who, of course, you'd want to go and wrestle in front of those fans, particularly when, 18 months ago, hell, even 12 or 6, AEW was, and I'll let Hamflett talk at some point, I'm sorry.
That's fine.
They were performing in these vast, cavernous, NBA-sized buildings with like 3,000 fans if they were lucky, and just an entire side of the building with no one there. They are massively up for this. So you've got a motivated roster. Check. The best fans in pro wrestling. Check. And I think there's a sweet spot of, this feels like a special Dynamite, hence why it's got the Grand Slam branding. But I think there's just enough of, right, well, there's a wrestler who's going to do something big at All in Texas. They need a win, Okada Briscoe. There's hostilities between the Young Bucks and Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay, hence why they're on opposite sides of a 10-man tag. So you've got just enough canon so that this feels like the right time to do it. Because he could have, I don't know when he could have done it, but I feel like there's enough all-in Texas stuff to build or just to maintain on this card so it doesn't feel like a diversion, even if it was one I would welcome. And you've also got a set of matches that are guaranteed to make this specific different crowd enter that sort of impassioned, earnest meltdown that they are famous for. So I think the balance between special show, serving your actual market live crowd, and like very basic maintenance booking to remind you, All in Texas is still happening. So I think they've struck the balance perfectly. I expect this to be phenomenal. I cannot wait. Sorry, Hamflett, you can talk now.
Nah, I mean, I agree broadly. Like, I want to look at this. Like, the problem of wrestling's own making and capitalism is the 52 episode a year churn. Churn till the workers
Darn.
And it's an industry catchphrase. They've always said it.
Yeah. It was it was a sign on our old office.
Yeah.
Churn till you get your work done.
It's business. It is business. It's why, going back decades with WWE and over the last 5-6 years with AEW, whenever they've had like an excuse to brand a show or make it seem special, separate from all the rest, whether it be WWE leaning on the Legends night or when like AEW would label
Road Rager, Fighter Fest, Fight for the Fallen, St. Patrick's Day Slam, Quake by the Lake,
New Year Smash,
Holiday Bash.
The problem is that with the Legends and with the labels, you start to have the novelty wear off.
Black Friday Rampage.
You realise you
What?
realise you're being sold magic beans rather than an actual product, an actual thing. I would use NXT at the 2300 as an example of something that felt different and why it was exciting. Like last year, it was exciting to think about NXT in the ECW setting and why they made the credits and all that sort of stuff. There are other examples, but that's just one that springs to mind. And this is that. Ultimately, it's a potentially far better version. I like that NXT, but this is a far better version of it. A venue and an audience or an inferred audience that is going to be different to pretty much every other broadcast you do this year. Wrestlers that are super enthusiastic to wrestle in hallowed halls, like that goes a long way. Like if you can still, I don't think there's not enough for my liking, to be honest. I don't think there's enough sentiment for buildings anymore. God dang, young people don't care about the history no more. I think that is a thing that is going away. I think wrestlers, and fair play, maybe they just care about the real things like the health of their bodies and their wages. Maybe that's actually a good thing. But I don't sense that there is enough sentiment placed behind certain venues. You are down to your kind of bare bones, Madison Square Garden, Allstate Arena, Arena Mexico, it's a shorter and shorter list than what it used to be. Put it like that. Like the way that certain wrestlers used to talk about it, because they didn't know what else to do. They were riding into towns and they would have to find,
going up and down on the road.
Yeah, like, actually, the audience is good here, thank God. Like, I don't think wrestlers think about it as much anymore. It's something that is for the fans. And that's it. I'm watching this as a fan. I'm leaning in as a fan to the overall experience that has been curated with this card and with a very unique setting. Look, in 3 years, what if there's been like 5 Dynamites at Arena Mexico and we're starting a preview where it's like, well, we're back at Arena Mexico tonight. It's not going to feel like this. You get this buzz once, maybe twice. And it's pretty cool to be on the precipice of it as the booking is good as well. Like, only when the booking is so great that you don't care about these special edition shows, like, are you not looking forward to them? Like, you circle them on the calendar, figuratively. Nobody has physical calendars anymore. But, like, you circle them on the calendar because it's just, that's going to be, like, regardless of the booking, regardless of where the stories and the wrestlers are at, it's somewhere different.
Yeah.
It's something different. And this is a huge one.
Absolutely. I've got, 2 more things to say before we get into it. Just about the general experience and setting a level of expectation based on precedent. 2 things. 1, that ring's pretty loud. So for newcomers, and I'm a relative newcomer, really. I just dip my toe in, as I said, every now and then. Ring's quite loud, might take some people a little bit of getting used to. Another thing is that I want to see that big space between the ring skirt and the front row just exploited with cool stuff. And I'm sure I will. The Young Bucks are in a 10-man tag, for Christ's sake. I want it to look like Arena Mexico. I want it to look like Arena Mexico, not AEW Dynamite is in Arena Mexico. And to be fair, they're usually quite good at not suffocating the aesthetics and smothering it with, like, remember that I don't want to do the whole WWE sucks thing all the time, but there was a point when it was like, every roll looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
You know, it
was a big problem.
Really resented that. Another thing is that ramp. There'll be loads of stuff on that ramp. I get the distinct feeling that Matt Jackson's going to use it to do that suplex thing. It's an iconic rank. An iconic ramp. The third thing. I've lost my train of thought. I've lost it.
It's because it's traveling too fast.
No, I've got it. If there were any concerns whatsoever, and there still might be founded, I guess, we'll see, that will the Mexico City fans be in love with AEW? What's the penetration like? If you want to get excited about it after this podcast, stick to the end. I've got some dulcet tones coming your way towards the end of this podcast. Remember that, I get what we're doing here, but Blackpool Combat Club versus CMLL feud, if you like. On Dynamite, it was, it's really good. I mean, I think it's just, a cool thing for Jon Moxley to do so he can do his little journey through.
You just like beat him every week.
Through the pretty much through the international wrestling sphere. What is Jon Moxley's wrestling fandom? How can we indulge it this week so he doesn't stop asking for a title reign?
Yeah.
They did Blackpool Combat Club versus Team CMLL. Who was injured? Someone was injured from the BCC and replaced by... So I think Wheeler Yuta got injured. And he's replaced by...
It's time to play the game! Time to play the game! Ha 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 ha!
Was it Michael Sidgwick's secret favourite wrestler, Matt Sydal?
Yes, I love Matt Sydal so much. He was in that match. They did it in Arena Mexico, 4-on-4, and it was the most...
It kicked ass.
The most loud, earnest match I heard all year. It was absolutely phenomenal. So, like, the CMLL home base seemed to really love or really appreciate, and yes, he had actual, genuine star power in Danielson and Mox.
Did you watch that, Wilbourn?
Did he?
No, I don't think so.
I know you'll have seen, if only for like list stuff when you were doing like a lot
More of a
voiceovers
AAA guy myself.
in the old churn days. The comparison I would make for maybe our leanings, the Canadian Stampede 10-man, where for one night the Americans...
Yeah, he loves it.
Yeah, can't get enough of that.
Maybe not then. I thought that would be the one. Never mind. It just made me think of like...
Did Paul Levesque book it?
Made me think of Austin and Pillman getting to switch sides.
And
they were both happy and giddy in their own ways.
Yeah.
For the loose cannon getting to just be a super good guy.
Yeah.
And Austin, like, I can do what? You can dig out, mate.
Yeah.
I can flip off. Get the rattlesnake. Hey, Steve, come here, Steve.
Hey, the rattlesnake, the self-appointed king of the ring.
So, who call you the toughest SOB in beep better WrestleMania?
Get in my dungeon and I'll tell you the toughest SOB. I know you won it last year, but you're still the self-appointed king of the ring.
Lay off my father, Steve. 10 more minutes, Bruce, you fucking idiot. The entire finish. Your one job.
But yes, the Arena Mexico fans can't wait to see
That's one more
AEW.
than Malachi Black and AEW.
Yeah.
There you go.
House of Bruce.
The Arena Mexico fans can't wait to see AEW, and one man who can't wait to see the Arena Mexico fans is Maxwell Jacob Friedman taking on Místico tonight. This is going to be fun.
This is going to be absolutely awesome. Like, MJF has done a great job of A, telling the story, and B, telling the truth that Místico is a god of Arena Mexico, like a god of Arena Mexico, the biggest Mexican lucha libre star of the 21st century, deep in this renaissance, post Sloppy Sin Cara, of course. MJF's been playing that up. He obviously doesn't need to do that in Arena Mexico, in which he is Místico, a god. There's a cheap element to what MJF is going to do tonight, but it's going to enrich my soul nonetheless. Those come up with the Luger trunks, those 93 Lugers.
You know, with no Jarrett on the show tonight, I hope he hands over the like tossing out taco shells like he does in AAA and stuff. Like, it goes down pretty well.
Yeah,
like,
but everyone's in on the joke. Everyone's in on it. I mean, they love it.
Hyper-American arsehole that you can't go too far, which is what's so great about it.
I want to see the big Old Glory unfair, like, just, you're doing it.
Yeah.
I have zero problems with him doing it. It's pro wrestling. It's escapism to a degree. If you can't get involved in the sort of cheap, scuzzy elements of it, you're kind of watching the wrong thing, in my opinion. But whatever. It's going to be great. It's like they've teed up something so easy, so simple, informing potentially a rabid atmosphere. It's like the perfect on sort of the first ever kind of co-promoted show. I know there's been some like partnership stuff with CMLL since the relationship. This is the first proper, night where there is an AEW versus CMLL storyline element in, I just think it's the perfect dynamic, the perfect pairing. Like, if they were ever going to do a pay-per-view, basically, I don't think they would. I don't think CMLL in stateside has got the same cachet where they'd expect people to pay money for it. If you were going to do that and you want the biggest heel versus the biggest babyface, it would be MJF versus Místico. Can't wait. And MJF knows his job to brilliant effect. Like, he is going to stooge and show some ass. Like, he's going to, when you see Místico perform a dive on him, you're going to hear MJF do, I love it when he takes that back body drop. He goes, oh, like, he's about like, oh God, I hate this wrestling stuff. It hurts. He's going to do that when like there's an incoming Místico missile. It's all going to be fantastic. I've got an idea for how to, like, in recent weeks, it has not hit the heights, this Hurt Syndicate wider thing of the thumb, Lashley saying no. It was better when MJF was trying to join, really, now that he's joined. This is always going to happen. The entertainment value of the Hurt Syndicate was very key, in my opinion, of like, is Dynamite coming back? Are we really there? Are we really getting there? And it's been missed a little bit. MJF's MVP last week was incredible, but I want to see the whole thing. I don't know.
Did you see MJF's gear last week?
I did, yes.
Oh,
yeah,
thank God.
unbelievable.
I watched that bit, obviously.
And again,
It's everything.
I don't know how much this is going to be. AEW Dynamite in Arena Mexico, or if they're going to really embrace the CMLL traditions and aesthetic and all the rest of it. I need Benjamin to be distracted by the ring girls. Because it's canon. It's canon that Shelton Benjamin is a gooner.
That was his turning point with MJF.
Yeah. So I need
the lovely ladies.
I love ladies. I need to see a bit of that. Like, have fun with the idea of you're not just in Arena Mexico, you're in CMLLs, and that's part of like the charm. It's part of the presentation. You might find CMLL a little bit more entertaining than AAA if that happens.
It's a high bar. How about to clear?
What was the best AAA show ever?
Probably Worlds Collide for me.
Second best. Which one? 94 or 2025?
2025 clears it.
No.
Absolutely.
He'd have said when Worlds Collide if he was referring.
Yeah,
to
of course.
Well, he's a purist.
Yeah, of course. Second best show ever.
No, that's it for me. I think I kind of sort of peaked on my Lucha. I'm kind of like, oh, that's enough Lucha Libre for me. Thank you very much. I think I'm full for
The
it.
Vicar Dibley Christmas special.
Exactly.
You couldn't put in one more morsel.
Yeah.
Not one more morsel.
Second best.
Don't need to. After you watch the best, don't need to watch the rest.
Okay. That's not, no.
So MJF can have a mariachi band play his theme live.
I was half thinking that.
He's going to lean in. Like, how far can he push it?
Yeah.
Before the bell's even rung, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's like, I was thinking about the flag and the presentation.
Well. Do you know a famous Roddy Piper near riot?
Something's coming to me, yeah.
When he played what on the bagpipes?
Oh, God.
He played Luca
Cucaracha,
on the
wasn't it?
bagpipes, aye. And MJF adores Roddy Piper, so
Yeah.
there's definitely scope for some music-themed heat. But
Is there-
I don't know who wins this, to be fair.
Well, I was going to say, because it's hard to imagine MJF just going over and that being that, but equally it's hard to visualize MJF getting beat. Is it possible that they let Místico get this win? And I don't know how, but he wins, and it's this nice moment in the building, theoretically. And the Hurt Syndicate beat him down, and there's some brand new heat. He's saved, and then you sort of park a 4-on-4 for Forbidden Dough.
Potentially.
Like, it's a simple...
Like a trios, you mean?
Sorry, trios, yeah. Well, or for it with MVP, but yeah, trios. A simple, nice, Forbidden Dough mid-card match that lifts the Hurt Syndicate out of anything significant for the one night, and it's like, oh, remember that thing that went down in Arena Mexico? That gets paid off at Forbidden Dough. Because there's some CMLL involvement there, isn't there?
Yes.
It's basically everybody and anybody.
Yeah.
So, like...
Your dream show.
Yeah. But that's something, like, it's an attraction. A nice mid-card attraction for Forbidden Dough. With it stakes-free, but nice.
Potentially,
Right.
or alternatively, they have MJF go over because it's an AEW show, and AEW need him as a big cog.
Low key,
going
Tony
forward.
Khan's he's pretty good at putting his thumb on people's heads in these corporate.
Yeah.
He's a stronger booker of the two generally.
Yeah, I think they know. I think CMLL and New Japan know where the bread's buttered, and know it gives them more like presence and visibility if they partner up with it. They know their kind of role. I know it's a harsh way of saying it. And then maybe, when he's not, if there's a period where MJF is like not the champion or he's not engaged in they can just sort of hide Mystico's win back on a Friday Arena Mexico show in the next 3 months or whatever, It's like there's a little political bargaining that goes on in these.
He won at Rev Pro, didn't he? Who was it? He fought Michael Oku.
Yeah, I think it was
he got like a big win, didn't
he's
he?
done Arena Mexico. I can't remember the result. He would have won because he was the American champion. Yeah.
A huge 10-man to talk about. Death Riders and the Young Bucks versus the Opps, Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland after last week's spectacular draw between Ospreay and Swerve.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait for this. I cannot wait for this. It's other than the main event. So the main event's got like the heat and the emotion and like, the nationalism element, which will sort of like fire everybody up. This, in terms of pure action, is going to be great. Like, it's going to follow the similar template. You've got the two key acts are going to tease an interaction and then potentially not do it until later in the match, and that is the preview of the All in Texas presumed match between Swerve and Ospreay and the Young Bucks. We've already seen that both Swerve and Ospreay individually have great chemistry with the Young Bucks. Like, I know it wasn't the best year in AEW history 2024, so you forget the highlights. But that Grand Slam match between Fletcher and Ospreay and the Young Bucks is absolutely out of this world. So, it's Ospreay and the Young Bucks, stylistically like-minded. They're not going to not be great together. They had one of the best matches in PWG history on opposite sides. Like, we know that's going to be great, so it's obviously going to be great tonight. Elevated by, the context and the atmosphere as well. Like, I think Matt Jackson's going to go up that famous, iconic-looking ramp with the Northern Lights spree. Joe on the other side of the ring can Kukina Matt Jackson when he's setting up for the TK driver. Like, there's loads and loads and loads that can do here. I had another spot in mind for this as well, but it escapes me. But what else can you say other than look at the collection of talent, look at the backdrop of the atmosphere, like, look at the levels of motivation, look at the Young Bucks' floor of match quality. Like, I've never seen them work. I'm serious. Since they put themselves on the map and got good, I can count on two wrists, let alone one hand, two wrists, how many 3-star matches they've had, and I'm thinking two. I remember they had a match. I know you'll think, oh, all the FTR ones, ha 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 ha. There were 4s that didn't deign to be 5, so they were bad in comparison, in my opinion. They had a match with the Acclaimed that went like 18 minutes and FTR interfered, I think, and it was like, this is dull and long. And if you're just going to do that finish, why are you going that long? Other than that, it may be the all-in one with a 3-way, where I'm like, this is just a gentleman's 3. And the odd one maybe on Dynamite when they were just starting to do the EVP characters and they were trying to scale it back on purpose. Yeah. How many like good matches have they had? They're all great. They're all fantastic. Like, I've got so much time for this. I really want to see the interactions between Swerve and Ospreay and the Bucks. I know none of us are huge on the Opps, but like the idea of the Arena Mexico crowd, like getting heat on Joe, like beating up Joe and then him coming back, like it's going to be amazing. It's going to be absolutely fantastic.
The Opps fit for me as I got
I'm getting on board.
It was them, they're mates. They're not the stars.
Yeah.
They helped Hangman Page last week and ran off the Death Riders, but not really. Like, then they're not the threat. And as the helpers to the top stars, I think they're fine. Like, I think it was presenting the Opps as the threat. It was presenting Samoa Joe as Moxley's equal or whatever. Never really bought that. I keep forgetting the Trios champions. Like, I don't believe they should be at the top of a division or anything. Yeah. But as the sort of... the undercard helpers of the actual stars, I think the Opps serve a purpose.
Yeah.
Like, they're there.
No, definitely.
Yeah, I think
I'm kind of into them now.
They've found that place, I think.
Like, the better as backup.
Yeah.
Better as backup, like these like thugs who are hard.
Yeah. And you can beat them as well, so you could like the
heels all day long, buddy.
The heels win this match.
All day long.
The heels win this match because an Opps is getting member's getting beat. It's not hurting the big stuff, is it? Like that.
And again, and I've got another worry actually. There is before presumably the taping, they're doing like, I think it looks like 5 or 6 matches for ROH Global Wars. Don't burn out this crowd of all crowds. We'll see. I don't think it's going to happen. I really don't. CML crowds are used to long shows. It will be fine. And again, like going back to the atmosphere, there is a sense of you can't fail this. If you botch this, it's promotional malpractice. You can't possibly botch it. Like Swerve and Mox, who are correct on other sides of the ring here, have got negative chemistry in the singles environment. But even if they have that sort of sluggish styles clash exchange that has been prevalent in all their singles encounters so far, one, in the context of this match, it lasts all of a minute before it all breaks down. 2, who cares? This crowd is going to go banana for it. I don't know who wins. I don't necessarily care. I don't think it necessarily matters, but this is the night for it. If you're going to do preview filler, do you care who wins? Are you that emotionally invested? This is the night to do this kind of match, and it's the Young Bucks. 4 stars. If it goes under 4, you'll be desperately disappointed. It's the Young Bucks in a party match. I mean, it's like you got a 4.5 star match, almost guaranteed, right? Is it going to dip below 4? What are the chances of that? Not even close. In Arena Mexico. I mean, I can't not get thrilled about this prospect.
It borders on that period where they were doing those, but this is a far greater reason for it than because it was a go-home collision. Remember the All-Star Tag period, briefly?
Yeah.
Where they would like line up the main eventers.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like it was old Attitude Era go-home philosophy, wasn't it? And they dropped that. But it was such a cool thing to look at on paper that you'd be like, all right, sod it, I'll watch it. I know that it's just to team me up for that tag team. I'm going to be across the ring from that tag team.
Yeah.
But this is the kind of show and place you actually do this rather than on like a go-home Dynamite that's a bit grabby and a bit forced. This is the destination and this is the place. Again, like if this was on a regular Dynamite, I'd be thinking, right, at what point does Hangman Page walk the aisle, interfere/intervene? Where's the little look with Swerve? I'm not really thinking about it on those terms. I don't think he's on the show. Maybe he is, but I think that would be a regular Dynamite. This is just a big party match where if the heels get the win through cheating, they get to like walk down the aisle and sneer and glare at the fans and be like, yeah, take that, Shibata, we pinned him. Yeah. We win the night. Or if like is Wheeler Yuta in this?
Yes.
Yeah. Wheeler Yuta gets pinned. It's relatively consequence-free and the babyface is like, yeah, take that, the baddies, and it all in. Even it's stakes-free, but it doesn't mean it won't be fun.
Yeah. One thing actually that I'm a little bit sad about, it's a bit too uncharacteristically positive from me on this podcast, right? When I saw Kenny Omega get elbowed in the gut, spewing blood last week, I didn't think, oh no, it's diverticulitis. I thought, oh no, he's not doing Arena Mexico.
Yeah.
To be fair, this like the Okada match is way more important. And I think if you did it too close to All In, I think the idea is they want you to think like, oh God, I don't even know if you can make it. Or especially, he's not going to be nowhere near 100%. So if they did it like 2 weeks before, or however many weeks before it will turn out to be, it will feel a little bit like, oh, I've been Pillmanized. Well, back in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So you didn't, you didn't have a hamstring pull. Your guts exploded. You can't be back in 2 weeks. So I get the timing of the angle, as disappointing as it is. And I guess if you're Kenny, what you're really doing now is you're getting into the absolute best shape. As we record this, he is chiseling that bod. He's going to be sculpted. I think he wants to look like he did at Dominion 2018. You know what I mean? Or like Wrestle Kingdom this year even. Yeah. Like he has these periods where you look like the Kenny of old, and then for 1 week when he's got adequate preparation. So that's what he's doing. That is what he's doing. So I understand why he's dipping this. And he's already had some matches in Arena Mexico. He's already checked that one off his own personal list of goals. But
there's a Pando one.
I always want to see Kenny.
There's a Pando one that was great. A Kenny Omega Arena Mexico match. I've been thinking of something else. I feel like it was 2021 maybe. Maybe not. I don't remember watching the Kenny Omega match.
No, he had a Pando.
It was quality.
Was it Laredo Kid?
It might have been, yeah, it was quality. It was really good. He was just like...
Kenny Omega, AAA, Laredo Kid Pando times. I'm sure that happened, and I haven't invented it, and it was great.
Good, isn't it? Yeah. Just made me think of that then. What you got?
12th of December. Triple Mania, Kenny Omega versus Laredo Kid.
Yeah.
I remember it because it was a great, great match.
Empty venue?
Or it's genuinely one of my favourite Laredo Kid. Not my favourite Laredo Kid match, obviously.
What was that?
That would be, of course,
the
Worlds
four-way
Collide.
for
Yeah,
World
brilliant.
Collide,
Oh, my word.
Right, okay.
Oh my word.
I remember that Laredo Kid match now that you've jogged my memory, because I'm fairly certain he 3.1 to the One Winged Angel.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, don't do that, mate.
So he just turned heel, hadn't he? He just aligned with Callis, maybe?
When was the date?
12th of December.
2020?
Yeah.
Aye.
Like
earlier that month he had,
Well, we're on the topic of Kenny Omega, so we can talk about Kazuchika Okada, obviously, Mark Briscoe. I ironically wrote in my notes, will Kenny Omega make it to All In? Because I'm interested to know not only how that factors into the Briscoe match, but how they sell it tonight on telly. Is it like a medical update, or what would you like to see?
I mean, this is the sort of thing, it's a good question, that Wilbourn, because it's the sort of thing that historically they've been pretty useless at. It's like really, and I think, going back to Excalibur, who actually incidentally should be in his zone tonight.
Yeah.
It's his sort of realm in at this.
Cheer up, mate. Fall in love with it again, yeah?
Yeah.
We're all trying. Come on.
All trying. Come on. It's a sort of thing that whenever Excalibur tries to express moral indignation, anything that vaguely orbits emotion as opposed to action, I just kind of take him seriously. And I think he weighs down the product as a result.
Got PWG in his DNA, and that was like the opposite of Ernest, isn't it? So you can never...
it was such an irreverent promotion, yeah. Like with Excalibur, and I understand he's the leading man, he shouldn't be. You put Prime Jim Ross in this call, and you forget the fact that it's evidently a work, and, the practical effects maybe looked a little bit overdone. Like, you need every ingredient to matter, and you need one ingredient to carry the others. And Excalibur in that role just doesn't do it. If there's going to be a medical update, and there should be, it should be treated as like, no, this match, I know we've advertised it. It actually could be in jeopardy. We might have completely the bed here. I'm sorry. But
Dr. Taz says it's spitting up Blood City Jones.
Yeah,
So it must be
you know what I mean?
serious.
You know what I mean? So get Schiavone to do it.
Yeah.
Please, not Excalibur. And as well,
Or Marvez.
I didn't, this sort of, shut up, man. This sailed over my head. I just didn't think. One, because I didn't pay that much attention because I knew I wasn't reviewing it because my voice was there. I couldn't speak. They just flashed a graphic. Oh, well, that was the angle for this match. That's happening. Is it because his guts have exploded again? And it took a year last time for him to come back, let alone a month or whatever it is. So, yeah, they need a medical update.
He's got a boo-boo heading into Texas.
He's got a boo-boo on his intestine. I'm so sorry, Kenny. I love you so much. I can't trivialize it. But no, they need to run the match graphic and have Tony Schiavone say something to the effect of, this is the current condition of Kenny Omega. The match, we've advertised it. We might have been a little bit hasty. Basically say it's happening, but if Kenny Omega is physically able to stand on his 2 feet, he will wrestle this match. Maybe play with it. How many tickets are you going to sell? I mean, that's the thing as well.
Yeah.
This angle and the full announcement of the match genuinely sold, I think, like 2,000 extra tickets, and you'd expect that to climb up. From a business ticket selling perspective and optics, because you want the show to look as big as possible, it makes no sense for them to say, "Oh, this match is in jeopardy."
Yeah, if you want a refund, just contact this. You're not
know
going
what
to be doing
I
that, are
mean?
you?
But if they're trying to sell, maybe it was the wrong angle, or maybe the extent to which they did the angle. I don't know, man. But they need to. I don't know what they need to do. I don't know what the priority is. Is the priority logic, emotional storytelling with true cause and effect that really allows fans to suspend their disbelief on A, is it happening at all, or B, what condition is Kenny going to be in? Or is it the ticket-selling dream match that's definitely happening and Kenny's probably going to be okay, and so why shoot the angle? I don't know.
I would say it's closer to the latter. Like the idea that
People wanted the dream match, not the can Kenny Omega make it.
It's the illustration of a back injury when your back injury is buried inside your body. Like it's a wrestler clutching it. You can hold your stomach a bit, but where else can you go from that? It's the escalation of an injured body part more than the matches at risk.
Yeah,
and that's
his guts exploded, mate.
Yeah, but like
it took him a year.
No, it's not. It wasn't a full explosion. That was the real explosion was 2023. This was like, the explosion's been cut. Right, that's how bodies work.
Okay, yeah, no, I get you.
I'm a doctor.
But then I can't take it. I want to take it seriously.
I think he will on the night as well. I think they know.
Of course he will on the night, mate.
No, but I know that there's but I've thought this the whole time. They being AEW, know that they are promoting something that no matter how you tell the story, and I was never worried about any version of the build, good or bad, sometimes you can actually welcome the detachment because this match exists because it has to.
Yes.
Not because of two people confronting one another on television or where Don Callis sits. It's because it has to. It's Omega Okada.
It's all in. It's a big show.
It's one of the few occasions where you can detach yourself from everything else. I wouldn't normally allow, I can't wave away, it'll be all right on the night with everything.
Yeah.
But that was one of the few cases where you can. And it's just like, well, is there anybody that needs a bit of TV build? You can have some TV build.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's what that existed for.
Yeah.
Here's an even harder question for you. Who wins out of Okada and Briscoe?
Do you need to do this on Friday?
We've got a lot to get through on Friday, to be fair.
Okay.
Big list. And he's got a point here.
Of course he's
If
got a point.
they've made their own Briscoe beard.
But it's maintenance booking. It's your beloved profiling wrestlers so that they appear to be big deals.
I think this is different. I think there is an increasing pushback in Briscoe being the maintenance guy. And AEW are earning some justified pelters. Stop beating him specifically. Like, you are watching somebody it's the closest I would say in AEW, because you can't really hear it in the stands, but I feel like it's something you can sense. It's not quite a protest vote, but there is a feeling that stop it. Like, push him. Stop taking the piss with him particularly. Like, if you're gonna, who was the wrestler you named and you got it spot on the other week when it was in the women's division? Like, I don't know who she could possibly go and face next.
Lady Frost.
Lady Frost. Stop Lady Frost and Mark Briscoe.
I know.
Stop it.
Okay, but
he's the exception to us taking the piss, I think.
Counter argument.
Actually, sorry, there was one more thing I was going to say. Because when they want to, they take the piss. Oh, well, he's going to be the Eddie Kingston avatar in Double or Nothing in Anarchy in the Arena. It's like, well, then if that was your plan, stop just killing him. Like, stop.
Yeah, but
like
counterpoint, he's perennially over to the same level.
Yeah.
These defeats don't do him any harm whatsoever.
Yes.
I understand. I love Mark Briscoe. I've campaigned on Twitter and on these podcasts for a bigger Mark Briscoe push. Time and place. There's nothing that Kazuchika Okada can really say in the fictional guise of his character that's going to get him more heat than the sort of like meta thing of, oh God, checked out, entitled Okada is going to beat Mark Briscoe, who we love. That resentment matters more to in-the-know wrestling fans than anything he could do in the parameters of his on-screen character. So I think it's the right time to beat Mark Briscoe, ... for once. And again, it's very Route 1 AEW booking, but every wrestling promoter since the dawn of time has done this kind of thing. Where, we've got a big guy, big star, theoretically a big star, heading into a massive match on a major show, having win a match. I mean, it's not exactly inspiring, but again, like Mark Briscoe, his crowd interaction skills, his innate sympatheticness, whatever, his ability to get the crowd fired up. I think it's the perfect match for this version of Okada entering the match he's about to enter. And I'm not being funny with Mark Briscoe. Like, maybe it is, I try not to lower my standards and what have you, but I've given up the old ghost on him being a true AEW headliner. I think this is the perfect spot for him. But the problem with Mark Briscoe is that he's kind of perfect, so he could be great in any spot. I still think you could do the long road, like big chase with him. But it doesn't have to be tonight, bro.
Okada for the cheap heat.
They had a great match in the C2 as well, these two.
Yes. Like, cheap heat Okada here, doing something like, because he's got a really nice elbow drop, Okada, but doing his own froggy bow, or doing the redneck kung fu mockingly towards Mark Briscoe. That sort of stuff you would fancy to go down quite well. Like, there's ways to get Okada to, you get both Okada. You get like cheap heat Okada. Some would say like he's been a bit lazy in this run. I'm not sure I agree, but leaned in.
I mean, however.
Yeah, right, maybe. But he's leaned in for heat, shall we say. But then
I've enjoyed it, but
then he goes up the gears almost like without you realising, because he has to beat Mark Briscoe. But it's also showing you, like last week did, he's got it in him to be the guy that Kenny wants.
Like Bailey match, yeah.
Yeah, like you're going to see that type of wrestler. You know, the premise before Vomiting Blood was, I don't think you're the guy from those classics we had. I think you're this different one. And Okada's like, well, what if I was both, dickhead?
Yeah.
Wasn't that the problem the last time when he couldn't beat me? I'm the everything guy. Yeah. Like, I still am. And I think this match is a good way to exhibit that, certainly, when he wins.
Yeah.
Who wins the 4 million pesos high-flying four-way? It is Máscara Dorada versus Ricochet versus Hologram versus the 30-year-old piece of gold. I want to be a cowboy, baby. I want to bring that back. Leo Rush.
I mean, like, again, put this on Collision, and I'm like, oh, God, I feel bad about all the hot moves and excitement that everybody else feels, and I don't. Put it in Arena Mexico, and it's going to be absolutely sensational. And look, as well, here's where the motivation level factors in so much more heavily than, any characters I want to see or story that they're trying to tell or whatever. Arena Mexico, and I know there's different subgenres of Lucha Libre. Like, I'm not completely ignorant towards it, but like there's almost like this competition for who can do the most spectacular dive, who can do the most spectacular high spot. I don't want to reduce it to that, but let's just say more than any historic pro wrestling venue in the world, the faithful of Arena Mexico will have seen their fair share of high spots. They'll want to bust out their best. You know what I mean? Like, Ricochet will want to do it like it's, 2012, 2014 all over again. Like, Dorada will want to be Máscara Dorada in this match. So I saw the graphic and went, all right, hopefully that goes 12 minutes. That'll be fun. Realistically is where I'm at with this. But they'll want to just go absolutely banana haywire. Like, I know what this is. I don't even give a toss if there's little connective tissue in a match like this. It's going to be self-indulgent. Look at the match graphic, grasp what it exists to do, and just do it. And have a competition with yourselves, between yourselves, who can do the most spectacular stuff. That's all I want to see here. That is all I want to see.
Yeah, you know when in like, well, it used to be the way, I don't know if it is now, but in the video games when you were assigning moves to your creator wrestler, and the exhibition of the move in the ring wouldn't be by like the wrestlers who did the moves, it'd just be like either green, red, or grey avatar bodies. That's these four.
Yeah.
They're not like, I don't care who any of them are. I want to see the moving bodies do the moves and like watch the fans go nuts for it. Like I've like negative investment in the result or the wrestlers, but the wrestlers that
£156,000 on the line here.
the wrestlers that have been chosen because like, oh, look at those flailing arms and legs, torsos flying through the sky.
We care about Ricochet, though.
Not in this, I don't.
Oh, not in this.
Maybe I will.
I mean, it'd be funny as hell.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe he'll turn that side of it.
Of course he will.
And maybe I should treat him like the star he is, the regular weekly featured TV star, as opposed to, I want to see Leo Rush, like heal it up with his gear and stuff like that. But and I've got
what I missed last week. Obviously, was there any developments with the Crew and Ricochet after that was teased?
I can't.
Well, no, but maybe because Ospreay had a bit of afters with him the prior week, didn't he? So it's almost like they're trying to like make enemies further up the card, and then it's like, well, we've made some similar enemies, us guys. Do you want to come? So maybe that's like a post all-in development where it's like that Crew was dropped for a reason. How high can you fly?
Yeah, basically.
Arms folded until they're not. That's what this one is for me.
Ricochet's the funniest man to give the money to, without question. Or maybe Leo Rush.
Oh, God, what if what if then he like posts a plane ticket of him going to Turkey? And what are you going to Turkey for, Ricochet? No reason.
Yeah.
Like, just wanted to visit, wanted to see the local
Should he
culture.
go to Turkey as a bit at this point? Like, seriously?
Yeah, like he's leaning in so much. He comes back with just beautiful hair.
I mean, I think
it's like the MJF tattoo gimmick.
You want to sell more
Turned
tickets to
all the way
All
up
In?
in it.
You want to sell more tickets to All In? You say Ricochet's back at All In. Don't know where he's been, but he's got something big he wants to reveal to us.
I mean, it would take ages.
Yeah, I don't know.
And like,
I mean, I'm going to have to find out pretty soon, I feel, but I don't know how long this process
he
takes.
tweets a picture, and it's just from like, it crops the head off.
Yeah,
But
the Jericho thing.
But he's got
all looking good here.
He's got like a beautiful smile, like a really bright white smile, just back from Turkey. Like, but the head is cropped.
Oh, you'd have to,
God,
like,
he's gone double.
reveal,
He's got teeth in there.
I wouldn't have the smile. I'd have a grin. I'd have that.
Back from Turkey.
Head cut off.
That's what he does with the money. Not like a wrestler couldn't afford
Turn the
to do.
lights
Even if
out
it's
and his teeth
like Ross
light up
from
the
Friends.
arena. Yeah.
Even if it's not on the back of him winning, how much? 156,000?
I think, yeah.
He should do it as a thing. He should definitely do this as a thing. It's such a uniquely modern, creative way of trying to get heat.
Plane ticket to Turkey.
Yeah.
I love that as a match stipulation. Winner gets a plane ticket to Turkey.
It's like on a pole, like a Russo Nitro.
Right,
It's like him versus Claudio. Killing each other for it.
There's quite a few people who could be in that match, couldn't there? Let's talk about this 12-man then. It is Bandido, Templario. Was that right?
I don't know.
Okay, Atlantis Jr., Adam Cole, Brody King, and Daniel Garcia versus Hechicero, FTR, Josh Alexander, and Proto.
Bratoshta.
Sorry, yeah.
You're not going to believe it. Can you just do that again for the people at home because it didn't pick up.
He moves.
Proto.
In this robot defecator character you've created here,
Sorry.
Is that like a flap?
I was going to say, where's the defecation element? That's just the robot arms. Like, we've not seen a robot sit down at the toilet.
Oh, yeah.
That's surely...
So you want to do the full...
Yes, please. Just
okay. Proto.
Now I get it.
Yeah, I get it now.
Now I'm living in the world.
Look.
Class both of them.
Forgot to take his phone in.
He's reading the shampoo bottle.
Okay, that's good stuff. That is good stuff. Right. In my head, I'm trying to do serious podcasting business now. This is...
All I can visualize is...
well, don't visualize it.
Toilet robot.
Okay, well, just be quiet.
I just want to think about that.
Just be quiet.
I want to live in that world for a minute. You talk about this match. This is the perfect match for me to think about that robot.
Yeah, well, I'm going to get to that as well, actually. I am going to get to that as well, because in my head, I think... basically, this cannot follow the 10-man. It is a similar format match, just not as good.
Opener and main event for me. The old double elimination chamber deal. Top and tail. That's how you do that. This opens. But
MJF Mystico main events.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
MJF Mystico main events this. Absolutely guaranteed.
Either way, they're going to have to be close together then, these two.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm thinking, right, you start off with the 10-man, right?
Right.
Then you keep the audience. You don't want to burn them out with action. So you do the 10-man, then the 4-way. It's like, oh my God, that's a lot of action. Ooh, I need an adrenaline dump. Then you go, right, okay, well, let's get a star in play, like Okada, to sort of do what stars do. And that's why they're in the star spots, and just slowly tell a story and make them come, bring them back up. Then more star power with Mercedes Moné and Zeuxis. Then you do the 12-man just before Mystico MJF, so that you get like that jolt, just in case they begin to tie that jolt of, oh God, there's so much going on. Keep it short, Dax. Keep it short. If this was 20 minutes and I'm bored, I'll be furious. Keep it short, snappy. And then, right, the jolt of electricity.
12 men in this match, it's just you.
I mean, you'd be campaigning for it, won't. And then, right, okay, I've got that jolt I'm back in the game, baby. Get that jolt of electricity right now. I'm ready to go nuts for MJF Mystical. That's how I would format this card.
You've got 2.5 hours as well, I should mention tonight.
Yeah, and I think that's how it's going to take them.
Is that last half hour not like a collision or something? Can we not just chuck that on there?
It's not, unfortunately. Collision's back live on Saturday.
Yeah.
We'll see about that. Maybe I'm. Hopefully, you're all feeling inquisitive. The readers, the listeners out there. I'm certainly not previewing it, and that's an absolute guarantee. That's how I would format this. What I'm trying. Can you remember? Was it Revolution 2022? Basically, there was a Sting party match, and I think Andrade and Guevara were in there. I think it might have been Revolution 2022, right? Where they solved the, like, bingo! Game as well. So it was Sting, bingo! Darby Allin, bingo! Sammy Guevara, and was it a trios?
A six-man tornado tag team match.
Against Andrade and Private Party.
Ooh.
Andrade. Bingo! Matt Hardy. Bingo! And Isaiah
Cassidy.
Yeah. Bingo! So I remember distinctly going, right, okay, it's an AEW pay-per-view. We are 2 matches away from the main event. I'm tired. It's electrifying. It's Moxley, Danielson, it's Dog Collar, but I'm getting a little bit tired. And then that went 12 minutes, 10, 12 minutes?
13 minutes, 20 seconds.
30 minutes, 20 seconds. It might as well be 4 minutes for an AEW pay-per-view. And I was like, Jesus Christ. And it was like having a shot at the party where you're thinking, oh, I'm starting to lag here. Oh, I'm back in the game. You know, at parties.
What's your shot of choice?
I don't really have shots. I'm just using it as an analogy. But if I had to have one, it wouldn't be tequila because I actually quite like to sip it. It would be a Sambuca.
Same. I'll potentially vomit with tequila. That's a risk. That's always a risk.
I was a big Sammy B guy.
I was a big Sammy B guy.
Nicholas got a tequila through us, damage-free in Canada. What was the trick again? I've already forgotten.
I'm glad you always listen to the things I tell you. Thanks for that.
Is it pineapple juice?
Shot of pineapple juice straight after, and it just completely nullifies.
Because I was real scared, and it was like, oh, here it comes. Drink the pineapple juice now. And it did. It was like
a time travel.
It's like feeling a fire getting doused.
And pineapple, yeah, jizz. That's good, isn't it? Makes it taste like it, doesn't it? That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
If you like. Yeah, short and sweet for the 12-man for me. Don't care about it at all, but...
Who wins?
Okay.
Okay, sorry.
I've begun to care. What side's Takeshita and Fletcher's team?
FTR and Josh Alexander. Hechicero as well.
Yeah. One of those where if this goes as well as I imagine it to be, the entire card, and this is positioned where it should be, is that shot of adrenaline for the main event. I'll be like, boo, bring this on. I don't want to leave this world.
Heels have got Josh Alexander. There's no way they're losing.
This is Dax Harwood getting his 20-minute match.
It's not a singles match.
He does all right in tags.
This is Dax Harwood getting his 20 minutes. That it's like, he can't. It's like he's got legally entitled to 20 minutes. It just drags me down. I can't be asked. I worry that's going to go long.
Yeah.
I feel like the 10-man is going to get the time. 10-man and MJF Místico is going to get the time. We'll see about all this.
Well, speaking of timings, I'm looking. Just the one women's match on the card, but what a match it is for the CMLL World Women's Championship. I'm really bad at it.
Zeuxis, I think.
Zeuxis. I've been saying Zeuxis, so I do apologize.
It could be either. I don't know either. I'm not very good.
But we know the other person's name because that's Mercedes.
Moné.
Another title potentially on the cards for her.
Well, you don't beat her at this moment in time, so yes.
Looks good carrying all them belts.
Yeah.
It's a good look.
How many is it now then?
Belt collector.
Yeah.
Belt
She lost
collector.
one. She did lose one.
Yeah, she did lose one. That's
I think
a good
this
point.
would put her back to 5. I think. It's pretty cool.
That is. How do you see this one going?
She rocks up in like indies and wins world titles like
Yeah.
Ultimate Warrior. Now. She does,
I love that one.
I'll work one day and I'll take that. Thanks very much.
Yeah.
Because that means you're going to get me back for at least one more.
See you later, guys.
Yeah.
No, I expect Mercedes Moné to win. There's absolutely unless she's like, could it go any better for me? I'm the champion of everywhere, and and you'd think that's Serena Mexico, of course. She's going to win. It's Mercedes Moné. That's what she does. She's a winning machine. Tony Storm's cruiser, a bit feddy, but this needs real juice. You want to get something out of Mercedes where she's like fueled by actual vengeance. Like, oh, you can't do that to me.
Instead of fueled by food.
Indeed.
Just kind of
Indeed. Look, they had a match on Dynamite, I believe. That was in that, Mercedes is here. She's not that big of a star anymore. Her matches are good, not great. Well, kind of done with wrestling, I think. But now things are better. Now things are a lot better. And should be good, this. Mercedes star power, the gear, the entrance. Want to spend the bucks here.
Yeah. Want
to spend the money. The money.
This feels very much like one of them things where, like you were saying about the card being full of wrestlers because they won it. Like, she's right outside Tony Khan's door being like, well, you best put me on this.
Yeah.
Please, thanks very much. So, like, she would have been first one down to get this. Like her, and this is to her immense credit, by the way. This is not a knock at, like, some wrestlers have used and abused, I think, AEW for their own gains. Mercedes Moné has done that, but not abused. She's just wanted to do X, Y, and Z as part of like a wrestling bucket list and has done it, but everyone's won off it. It's not just been a thing for her. This is another one of those.
Yeah, absolutely. And I will say as well, I used to use, before she got like really good and I didn't have to do this anymore, like that analogy of like trying to strike like a matchbox. You get the spark and you get those little moments of like, this could catch fire, and it just doesn't, and it snaps in half, then it just ends. Like those Mercedes matches, I was always fighting for them before
Mercedes
she found...
matches. That's very good. The Mercedes matchbox.
Yeah.
It's full of little matches that were only...
I was trying to fight for those matches because I could see there was always one sequence, or one bit of flow to like the work, and then it would just kind of like... They would always start to get somewhere and then just end.
Mainly when she hit the moneymaker.
Yeah.
That's a real vibe killer.
So I reckon, this could be good. There's a potential for a swerve, but realistically, it makes no sense whatsoever to beat her now. Fritter away. A grand slam. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What about if you're trying to add heat to this Tony Storm thing a bit, and this is maybe not the week to do back and forth unless you're going to do some sort of running finish where, like Tony Storm, away from the timeless theatrics, like has 10 different ways to quite violently beat you. I'm not just talking in weapons matches. Like she's always had these, like things like Storm Zero. She puts people down and out. This story about Jamie Hayter not being cleared could play to Mercedes Moné's advantage because she might have just inadvertently invented a new kill shot. What if she wins this title with the same way she beat Jamie Hayter?
I would never try that again.
Safely. Assuming that, it can be done safely.
I'd like to see more of that in wrestling in general.
Yeah, I've got this, Storm Zero is great, but ask Jamie Hayter how my new finisher is. And she just uses that to win the title, and now that's 2 big wins in the last month. And you can say, we're pretty worried that, again, I can never nail this pronunciation. Zeuxis?
I don't know.
He's on the shelf now.
We're sorry. We literally are stupid geeks who can only apologise.
Because Jamie Hayter is as well, and I'll do that to you, Tony Storm. And she hits it for an awesome 2 count in the match. They might have something there. Because that came out this week, didn't it? That Jamie Hayter's not cleared, so people know about it now.
Yeah.
But as I mentioned, it is the only women's match on this card, which means we need to get to the name of the game. But before that, the aim of the game, Sidge.
The aim of the game is to identify to the hour, minute, and second the first time you hear the first note for the first entrance theme for the first woman to come out and compete for the only women's match on Dynamite. Because more often than not, I would say 99 times out of 100, there ain't 2, there's only 1. And we play this game, hence the aim of the game, to just try and underscore, italicize, and put in bold what's going on and why does it go on at this specific time. Well, I think, I don't want to speak on the behalf of my fine co-hosts here, but I think we're in broad agreement here that it usually falls in that 1 hour 20, 1 hour 25 minute range, even though they've been trying to be a little bit cheeky and mischievous by swapping it around on occasion. More often than not, you'll find 1 hour 20, 1 hour 25, with the idea being, I think, they being AEW come Warner. If we just, put it before the main event. The market psychology here is that sunk cost fallacy of I've already watched it for an hour. Oh, God. Women. Ugh. I know women. Ugh. But I made it this far. Might as well watch this. Put up with this before the main event. The idea being, in my cynical opinion, that AEW come Warner are thinking, God, you got to put the bloody women on, otherwise the bloody wokes will kick off. It's 2025 and it's 2019 and things have not changed somehow in 6 years, really. Even though there has been a lot more creative input and stars made in that division, still, in my opinion, not good enough. Thinking, Sidgwick, that's a mouthful. You jinglize it for me, mate. Yeah, sure can. Don't worry, guys. When the women come out to play, the main event ain't too far away. That's the aim of the game. The name of the game is 2 seconds. Let me get my sheet music here. Should I add a second one? The Paragon is dead. No, just the one's enough. No, just the one's enough. Should I add a second one? Same parody as the Fed. No, just the one's enough. No, just the one's enough. We light the fuse here in the dub, and I think only one match is a FDR need booking, and so of course does Mox. Nah, just the one's enough. No, just the one's enough. Tekla made an impact, so get back in your box. No, just the one's enough. No, just the one's enough. It's getting harder, but enough's enough. Second match, those titties are so tough. Ladies' night. Yeah.
Brilliant.
I don't know.
I wanted you to pick that mic up instead of just drop it there.
What players was that your song for?
Don't think we've had that one. No one jumps out.
Nicholas? I don't think we've had one either.
What
was yours?
Gary Roberts. Gary Roberts.
One will come to me as soon as we stop recording. And I can't think of who it is now.
I've completely forgotten. Shout out, as always, to the guys who always take care of the
data.
Thank you for this sort of thing. The Panda Blair himself, Adam Blair, at Adam Wilton 4, and Jose Palomares at the Ho 11. I've completely forgotten who won the last time. It's been a while.
Been a while.
Who wants to go first? I mean, I can go first.
It's 2.5 hour show, remember? Why did I do that? As it was coming out of my mouth.
I know where Wilbourn's going with it.
It's still fairly easy because it still kind of fits with the way you were booking the show.
Yes.
You laid it out earlier.
And I'm booking it.
Now I'm gonna
Yes.
2.5 hours. I'm gonna Price is Right this piece of garbage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6.
Why do you hate me so much? We had a nice double news today. Now you've gone and done that. I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 6.
That's right. I'm going to be a 6.
I think we are at 3, 4, 5 in the scores, though.
Is that right?
I think so.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Tonight's the night we're going to make it happen.
I'm so excited. I don't know. I'm at the delirious stage if I need my dinner.
Needs a Dudley Din-Dins.
That's going to open. And it's going to go on.
Congratulations on his engagement, by the way.
Oh, yeah, congratulations. Yeah. Honestly, great stuff, that.
Yeah.
And happy belated Father's Day as well.
Oh, yeah?
So that's going to go long. 1 hour, 23 minutes, and 49 seconds.
Doesn't feel nice, does it?
Well, I like how he presented it because
I thought he was going to sandwich me.
I thought you were going to get sandwiched there. The way he presented it was like he was saying numbers rather than just firing out the same thing that you do every week.
The current standings are 3, 4, 5. It's a shame to ruin that. But
the way that Sidgwick's done that, for one of us, well, particularly me, to get this right, we are getting it down to the second, basically.
And what did you say? 1, 2, 3, 4?
9.
Yeah, I've
This is
lost
1, 2, 3, 4, like
8 or 7.
Oh my god! Nicholas can have them just in case.
Seconds away, like
7 seconds away.
I'll be waiting for a second women's match.
Let us know your thoughts ahead of AEW Dynamite Grand Slam Mexico in the comment section below or on X at WhatCulture WWE. Actually, they can follow all 4 of us. You can follow Michael Hamflett at
Michael Hamflett
or Michael Sidgwick at
M. Sidgwick.
You can follow Adam Nicholas at...
It's Adam Nicholas.
Follow me at Adam Wilbourn. Follow us all at WhatCulture WWE, as I said. And make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling, wherever you get your podcasts from, for daily wrestling podcasts. We'll be back tomorrow to review Dynamite. Got the NXT review coming your way later on today. But for now, it's been the Dynamite preview. My thanks to Hamflett Sidgwick. Thank you for joining us. And we will see you soon.